Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. This is an introductory webinar to sponsored ads with a particular focus on how to use sponsored ads during the holiday season. So some of you may have signed up to this webinar with a slightly different title, but today we're going to be going through more or less the same content, but with, as I said, with a holiday focus. So it's going to be really good for preparing you for the next few weeks. My name is Sophie, and I'm a marketing specialist at Amazon. I look after the UK market specifically, but I also cater to UAE and Australia and a few other markets. So wherever you're joining me from today, I'm really happy to have you here. And I'd also be happy to answer any questions that you might have on sponsored ads. So if you have questions at any point during the webinar, you can submit them in the chat box on the side of your screen. And I'll take 10 minutes or so at the end of the session to go through your questions in as much detail as I can. This session today is being recorded, so I'm going to send you a recording as a webinar. I'm also going to send you the slides from today, and I'll send you the list of upcoming webinars. So just look out for my follow-up email sometime before the end of the day, which will have all the information that you need to both review today's session, but also take the upcoming webinars. I will also be launching a survey at the end of today's webinar. So I'd love for you to fill that out and give me some feedback on how you found the session. That will really help me improve future sessions and make sure that you're getting what you need from these webinars. So with that, let's get started. And as I said, if you have questions at any point, you can submit them in the chat box on the side of your screen. So I'm just going to double check that we're all set up properly. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, cool. So our agenda for today is as follows. We're first going to look at the holiday shopping season and what it involves and why it's important to advertise. Then we're going to talk about why you would use sponsored ads during the season. Then we'll talk through the basics of sponsored ads to really help you understand how sponsored ads work. Then we're going to talk about getting started with sponsored products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a live demo on how to set up a sponsored products campaign. Then I'll talk through some next steps that you can take after the webinar today, and we'll go into a live Q&A session. So let's start by looking at the holiday season last year and some key stats on the scale of the opportunity that we're looking at. So the holiday 2019 delighted Amazon shoppers with billions of customer packages delivered. Just to give you guys the sense of what the season meant last year, there was a 4 times increase in the number of items that were delivered with Prime Free 1-day and Prime Free same-day delivery. 5 million plus new customers started Prime Free trials or began paid memberships in just 1 week alone. 3.5 billion customer packages were delivered by Amazon's dedicated last mile delivery network. And 11:59 on Christmas Eve was the last delivery with Amazon's ultra fast delivery. And just to give you some idea of the additional highlights, toys and games, fashion, home, and beauty were popular departments to shop with for more than 500 million total items ordered. And some of the best-selling products and brands were the Echo Dot, Fire TV Stick, the Alexa voice remote, the Echo Show 5, and a few other products. So that's just to give you a sense of how shopping activity changes a little bit during the holiday season and some of the opportunities that you might be able to take advantage of. And it was also a record holiday season for Amazon devices and Alexa. So customers worldwide purchased tens of millions of Amazon devices, and shoppers purchased millions more devices compared to last holiday, with the best-selling devices including Echo Dot, Fire TV Stick, Alexa Voice Remote, and Echo Show 5. Um, Customers also interacted with Alexa at record levels this holiday season. So, from finding recipes to showing who's at the front door, finding holiday TV shows and movies, to also turning on holiday lights and more. So, this shows you that, Amazon is with customers at different touch points during the holiday season. And so now let's talk through a closer look at the 2020 holiday shopping season. So from Black Friday and Cyber Monday to the New Year, there are countless opportunities to engage shoppers when they're looking for products to buy. So during the holiday shopping season, there are worldwide holidays and events that I'd really encourage you to prepare for. Based on other marketplaces that you advertise in, you might want to consider some marketplace specific holidays. So for example, in Canada, UK, and Australia, of course here, you may have additional ads running on Boxing Day, which is the day right after Christmas, to just continue that momentum from the holiday season. And as I mentioned, I will be sending you these slides after the presentation today. So if you want to have a quick look through this calendar and just plan your advertising activities around the different events, that's something that I would really suggest you do. So we got this nice quote here that kind of exemplifies how you should be thinking about the shopping season. And it all starts with understanding your customers' shopping traditions so that you can plan to make the most of increased traffic and interest when they might be shopping for items like yours. So everything else comes to planning and executing the best strategies for your brand. And that's something that we're going to be talking through today. So in terms of the holiday shopping season timeline, I've outlined some strategies that you can follow. So planning is a key step that you don't want to miss, and you should start planning as early as possible to really understand what your advertising strategy for the holiday shopping season is going to be so that you can decide on a budget. Then during the preparation stage, if you're eligible, you should set up a store, which is a free branded destination on Amazon for all your entire product catalog. And you should start setting up your sponsored ads campaigns. So this is the time for you to fully get ready for the holiday shopping season, starting with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And then finally, once you're in the execution phase, remember to monitor your advertising campaigns, check your reports, and optimize your campaigns throughout the season. Let's also look at how you can use our self-service solutions during the holiday period. So you can help create awareness for your brand of products leading up to days like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And you can help them drive conversion and sales whilst the events are happening, and then sustain engagement with shoppers after they've ended. So it's really important to consider the whole holiday shopping period. Um, and you can help create awareness for your branded products leading up to key events like Hanukkah, Christmas, Boxing Day, and more. And you can then help drive consideration and sales while they're happening. And as I mentioned, sustain engagement with shoppers after the holiday period into the new year. We've got a nice quote from Samantha here, who's one of our advertisers, and she says that January is our third largest month, so we plan to continue to advertise into the new year. So again, this is really about not just stopping your advertising once the holiday season is over, but thinking about how you can extend that momentum, how you can really take advantage of this season, but drive it forward into the new year and continue your sales cycle. So, why would you use sponsored ads this shopping season? So here I'm going to talk you through some of the benefits of sponsored ads and how you can get set up. So sponsored ads in stores can help you do what's important to you before, during, and after the holidays. So you can help grow your reach in minutes because sponsored ads can help businesses of all sizes and experience levels reach and engage more customers. As we're going to see later, ads take as little as 5 minutes to create, and you can advertise in all your eligible marketplaces to reach more shoppers. You can also help grow your sales now and later. So sponsored ads can help you get more orders during this high traffic period. But by helping you continuously reach new customers, they can help your business achieve growth year round and help your business achieve long-term growth in particular. And you can grow your business on your own terms. So you can tell an impactful on-brand story through highly visible ad placements, which we're going to look at in a little bit, and through your store. And you can customize creative elements to meet your goals and reflect your vision. Plus, you choose your investment and pay only when a customer clicks on your ad. So we'll talk about that model in just a little bit as well. And then also with sponsored ads, you can easily measure your return on investment, review your new to brand metrics, which show you which customers are new to your brand, so they haven't purchased from your brand in the last 12 months versus existing customers. And there are a range of insights available for sponsored ads, and they're set up to help you understand how your ads are performing at any time, which can give you full awareness into your advertising. You can then identify strategies that are performing to your goals versus those that aren't, and then make optimizations based on that. And finally, let's spend a moment thinking about what customers' shopping journeys can look like nowadays on a site like Amazon. So there are many ways for customers to learn about a product, whether it's through the use of the Amazon search bar, ads, reading reviews, or hearing about it through social media. And with all of these touch points, the path to purchase is no longer linear, but it's interconnected across stages. And so with shoppers in all parts of the decision journey, it's really important to engage those ready to purchase whilst growing your brand visibility with those still in the awareness and consideration phase. And sponsored ads can help you reach shoppers across all these stages, from building awareness to inspiring loyalty. And we'll talk about how you can use the different solutions to do that. So let's take a look at our portfolio of self-service products more closely. So let's start with an overview of sponsored ads. So these are cost per click ad solutions that enable you to promote the products that you sell on Amazon with keyword targeted, product targeted, or audience targeted ads. And you can select your products and choose your keywords, or you can use Amazon suggested keywords. And then once your ad is launched, it can appear in shopping results and on product detail pages. And as importantly, you can also decide how much you want to spend on your campaigns, and you pay only when your ad is clicked on. So as an advertiser, you'll be able to measure your impressions or the number of times that your ad was displayed, clicks, click-through rate, new to brand metrics, and as well as analyze your return on ad spend or your ROAS. Excuse me, sorry. So for those of you who might be, excuse me, sorry. I just swallowed the wrong way. I don't have a cough. Just 1 second. There we go. That's better. Cool. So sorry about that interruption. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with our suite of solutions, I just want to give you a quick overview on the different sponsored ad solutions available. So instead of me taking you through this slide, I'm actually going to pull up examples of these ads on amazon.co.uk. So here I am on Amazon, and what I'm going to do is type in the search term chocolate bar. Oh, I think, that's because I'm searching in Amazon devices, and of course there's no device called an Amazon chocolate bar, so let's try all departments. Great, so what I can see at the very top of the page is what's called a sponsored brands campaign. And I know this is a sponsored brands campaign because I can see a logo, I can see a customized headline, which says it's time for a moment of bliss, and I can see 3 products on display. Then if I scroll down, I can see sponsored products related to my search. So you can see these are in a slightly different format. So sponsored products, they each feature one product at a time, and they don't offer a logo or a customized headline. Then if I click through to a sponsored products campaign, I get taken to the product detail page where I can learn more about the product and decide whether or not I want to buy it. And if I scroll down the product detail page, I can actually see just below this product description here, a sponsored display ad. So you can see again, this is another format and a slightly different placement to a sponsored brands campaign or a sponsored products campaign. Then if I scroll further down, I can see sponsored products related to this item. So this is another place that sponsored products ads appear. And I can see brands related to this category. So these are more sponsored brands campaigns. Now, the last thing I want to show you is, if it'll let me, just try this one more time. So we saw a sponsored product, we saw a sponsored products ad, we saw sponsored brands ads, and we saw sponsored display. But there's also something called a store, which is a branded destination on Amazon where you can showcase your entire product catalog. So let me just try finding this again. Cool. So I can see actually in the sponsored brands campaign, I can see a line that says Shop Lindt UK Limited. So if I click through to that, I get taken to Lindt's store, or maybe not. Okay, hold on. Let's just try another way to get to their store, which is actually through what's called the buy line on their product detail pages. So yes, here we go. So this is the Lindt store. And as I mentioned, this is a place where Lindt can showcase their entire product selection and really tell their brand story. So you can see lots of different graphics and photos that are explaining the value proposition of Lindt as much as anything. And whilst sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display are all cost per click solutions, so you pay when a customer clicks on your ad, stores are in fact completely free. So you don't pay for any clicks within your store. So those are the different solutions in situ. So I'm just going to navigate back to my presentation so we can carry on. So one thing I want to mention is eligibility. So just one thing to note is that sponsored products are available to all advertisers, whereas sponsored brands, sponsored display, and stores are only available to vendors and also to sellers who are enrolled in Amazon brand registry. So if you are not enrolled in Amazon brand registry or you're not a vendor, you can still make use of sponsored products, but you won't be able to access sponsored brands, sponsored display, or stores. So now let's just review some basic concepts around sponsored ads. So as we move into this section, let's review the basic requirements for participating in sponsored ads full stop. So first of all, you must be an active professional seller and you must have products that are in eligible categories. So some products may not be eligible for advertising. For example, if they are refurbished products or certain types of refurbished products or certain types of adult products. And you also must have a valid payment method for advertising fees on file. So as you accumulate clicks on your ads, your advertising fees are either deducted from your seller account balance or charged directly to your credit card. And the default payment method is deduct from payment. So if you want to change that, you can go to Seller Central, go to settings, and then account info to change that particular setting. And then, as I mentioned, product listings must fall into one or more available categories. So adult products, used products, or refurbished products are not eligible for advertising. And you can ask product-specific questions in the Q&A box, and I can try and answer those as well. And then for some ad types, so for sponsored products in particular, you must be featured offer eligible. So you can only create campaigns for products that are displaying the featured offer, which is the box in the right-hand side of the product detail page where customers have the option to add to basket or buy now. And then, as I mentioned, you need to be enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry in order to make use of sponsored brands, sponsored display, and stores. So I mentioned briefly the featured offer, but let's talk through in detail what it's about. So in order to advertise, your product must be eligible to be the featured offer. And as I mentioned, this is the section of the product detail page where customers can add items to their cart or buy now. So there are a few different ways that you can help your products become the featured offer. One is to keep them reasonably priced compared to other people selling the same products as you. Review your inventory, so make sure that you've got good stock levels of your items. Offer multiple shipping options and free shipping if possible. And also offer great customer service, which can, of course, help you generate positive ratings and reviews, which not only helps you display the featured offer, but also, of course, can help you drive more sales. So now let's move on to auctions and how they work. So auctions determine which ads to show to shoppers based on a combination of how much you as an advertiser are bidding and the ad's relevance to a shopping query. So ads must meet minimum relevance criteria. And what you're seeing happen in this slide is that just like I typed in chocolate bar into amazon.co.uk, we've got a customer here who's typing in video camera 4K professional. And 3 advertisers are bidding on 3 different keywords that are related to this customer's shopping query. So the first advertiser is bidding on camera video 4K, the second is bidding on camera video, and the third is bidding on camera. So they're all related to the shopping query, so they meet that minimum relevance criteria and they can be displayed. However, these advertisers are bidding different amounts for each of their keywords. So the first advertiser is bidding 75 cents, the second advertiser is bidding 60 cents, and the third advertiser is bidding 45 cents. So the higher you bid, the more likely you are to win an auction and win an impression for your ad. So the first advertiser in this case will win the top placement because they bid the highest for their keyword. So their ad is displayed to the shopper, they win an impression, but when their ad is clicked on, they don't pay what they bid, they pay 1 cent or 1p more than the second highest bid. So in this case, they would pay 61 cents. And then there's the daily budget. So the daily budget is another important factor in how you run your sponsored ads campaigns because it really determines how much you're spending every day on your campaign. This is averaged out over the course of a calendar month, and you can change your daily budget at any time. So you're able to go into your campaigns and just change it instantaneously. So what I mean when I say it's averaged over a course of a calendar month is if your daily budget, say, is £5, and on day 1 you get £4 worth of clicks, it means that on day 2 you could have up to £6 worth of clicks, which would take your 2-day spend to £10 and your daily average to 5. So what this system does is it allows you to take advantage of high traffic days so that you can generate more clicks on your ad, but you will still average out at the daily budget that you've set. One thing that I would highly recommend to you is that you choose a daily budget that's high enough to last throughout the day. So if you're completely new to sponsored ads and you're setting up your campaigns for the first time, I'd recommend that you choose a daily budget of at least £10, because if you choose a budget that's lower than that, you might find that all of your clicks are used up by, say, noon, and then you miss out on shoppers who are shopping in the afternoon and in the evenings. So you want a daily budget that's going to last from midnight to midnight when it replenishes again. And then there are different targeting options available for sponsored ads. So I'm just going to talk through these quickly. Just a note that sponsored display has slightly different targeting capabilities than what I'm going to talk through just now. And if you're interested in sponsored display, we do have a whole separate webinar on that I'd recommend you take. So you have 3 ways to target your sponsored ads campaigns, depending on which type you're using. So with sponsored products campaigns, you can leverage automatic or manual targeting, whereas so you can leverage automatic targeting or manual targeting. And automatic targeting means that you're allowing Amazon to choose keywords and products for your ad to target, whereas with manual targeting, you yourself choose keywords and products to target. And you also have the option to do negative targeting. So negative targeting will stop your ad appearing against specific search terms or specific products. And it's a great opportunity to optimize your campaigns, because you make sure that your campaign shows up in moments against particular search terms or particular products where it's relevant to the shopper and it's got a higher chance of converting to a sale. And negative targeting helps you eliminate those search terms and those products that aren't working well for your campaign, that aren't delivering relevant clicks that are more likely to convert to sales. So what I would recommend, particularly when you're starting out with ads, is that you start with an automatic targeting campaign to let Amazon choose those keywords and products for you. And then once you've let that run for about 2 weeks, you can start a manual campaign. And you can apply some of the search terms and products that you found your automatic campaign match to your manual campaign to see how they perform. And then you can just let those 2 targeting types run side by side. And you can use negative targeting across both those types of campaigns to make sure that the campaigns are always optimized. So automatic targeting is really easy to get started with, and it lets you gain insights on shopping activities and discover new keywords that are generating clicks and sales for your brand and products. Because our system is continuously learning and automatically adapting your targeting. So if you're launching a new product in a different category or you're looking to expand, this targeting method can help you reach new audiences. And then automatic targeting helps lay a solid foundation for your manual campaigns, which I'll discuss in a moment. So let's take a closer look at the automatic targeting options that can help refine how your ads are displayed when using automatic targeting. So your ads will be eligible to appear on Amazon shopping results pages, as well as product detail pages, which we saw earlier, based on multiple default strategies that we use on your behalf to match your ad to relevant customer shopping queries. There are 4 targeted options in this case. 2 are keyword-based and 2 are product-based. So you can decide whether you want to use all or only some of these defaults and how much you want to bid for them. And these options are close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. So with close match, keywords that are closely related to your ad are automatically assigned to your campaign so that your ad may be shown to shoppers who are using search terms that closely relate to your products. Loose match, on the other hand, adds to your campaign targeting keywords that are loosely related to your ad, so it may show to shoppers who use search terms that are loosely related to your products. And then when it comes to substitutes, automatic targeting will include products and brands that are similar to yours so that your ad may be shown to shoppers who visit the detail pages of products that are similar to yours. And then finally, with complements, automatic targeting will include keywords and products that complement your ad. So we may show your ad to shoppers who view the detail pages of products that complement your product. So here's an example that shows how each targeting option can work in your automatic campaign. So if you're advertising this 8-foot artificial green Christmas tree, with close match, this ad will target keywords like 8-foot Christmas tree or artificial Christmas tree. So these are really closely related keywords to your product. Then with loose match, it'll match to keywords like fake Christmas tree or evergreen Christmas tree, because these are a bit more loosely related to your product. Then with complements, the targeting includes ASINs that are complementary to the advertised product, like Christmas tree lights or tree topper ornaments, because these are complementary to the Christmas tree. They are something that customers would buy alongside the Christmas tree. And then with substitutes, your targeting will include ASINs that are very similar to yours. So for example, another artificial tree that either you sell or that another advertiser sells. And now we'll turn to manual targeting. So this method gives you increased control over your targeting and allows you to split campaigns based on objectives, as well as to better control your spend, which can help you bid more competitively on targets that perform well for you. So we know that advertisers who start manual targeting for their sponsored products campaigns for the first time see a significant increase in impressions and sales in the first month compared to those that don't. So based on that, I'd really recommend this targeting method to work alongside your automatic campaigns. And just to give you a sense of those numbers, advertisers who start using manual targeting see up to an 87% increase in impressions and up to a 74% increase in sales in the first month. So this is where we say, don't just stick to automatic targeting, really use them both and let, apply the insights that you're learning from your automatic campaign to your manual campaign. So then one of the options with manual targeting is keyword targeting. And with keyword targeting, you can choose word combinations and phrases that are used to match your ads with shopping terms used by customers when they're looking to find your products. So you can drill down into the different match types to help control how shopping terms are matched with the keywords that you're bidding on. So the match types that are available are broad match, phrase match, and exact match. And broad match offers your ad broad traffic exposure, meaning that a shopping term will match if it contains the keyword terms that you're targeting in any order. And then broad match also includes the plural form of the keyword, related queries, and other variations that are close to that keyword. So for example, if you're advertising an 8-foot artificial green Christmas tree and one of your keywords is artificial Christmas tree, if you're using broad match, it'll match when shopping terms are artificial Christmas tree, but also green artificial Christmas tree, artificial and 8-foot Christmas tree, or artificial Christmas trees. Then if you're using a phrase match type, it'll match with artificial Christmas tree, but also a green artificial Christmas tree and artificial Christmas trees, but not with artificial and 8-foot Christmas tree. Because in this case, there are words breaking up the exact phrase or sequence of keywords. And then finally, if your keywords are set as exact match, they will only match with artificial Christmas tree or artificial Christmas trees, because even exact match allows you to match with very, very close variations or plurals of the keyword that you're targeting. And so let's take a quick look at product targeting. So this is the other option for a manual targeting campaign. So with product targeting, you can target by ASIN to allow your ad to be shown to customers browsing specific products. So in this case, when selecting your target, you'll be able to search for specific ASINs in the search field, upload a list of ASINs that's relevant to your campaign, or target suggested products by the system that are similar to the product in your ad. You can also choose to target by category. And in that case, you'll select a broad category that's relevant for the product that you're advertising to allow your ad to be shown to customers browsing any ASIN that's inside that chosen category. So when choosing category targeting, you can refine categories to have a greater control over when and where your ads appear. And depending on which sponsored ad solutions and categories that you're using, you'll have a different set of options. So I'll show you that quickly in a live demo. So I'm going to walk you through the benefits of creating a sponsored products campaign this season, and I'll talk you through step by step how to do that. So with millions of people shopping on Amazon during the holiday shopping season, sponsored products can help you stand out and put your products in front of shoppers who are ready to buy. I also just want to look at the eligibility requirements for sponsored products. So we looked at general sponsored ads eligibility requirements a bit earlier, but now we'll specifically focus on sponsored products. So to advertise with these, you need to be a professional seller, vendor, or KDP author. Also, handmade artisans are eligible. You need to have an active account in good standing with Amazon. You need to have the ability to ship to the country that you're advertising in. As mentioned before, you need to have a valid payment method on file, and you need to have listings that are eligible to be the featured offer. So with that in mind, here's how you can get started. So you would log into advertising.amazon.com, your Seller Central account or your Vendor Central account or your KDP account. Then you choose the marketplace that you want to advertise in and click Create Campaign. And then you select Sponsored Product and you follow the instructions in the ad builder, which I'll show you in a little bit. So you can follow these few steps to just launch your campaign in a few minutes. First of all, you give your campaign a name, so you can use a standard naming convention, and I'd really recommend that you do this. So you can say, the ad type, the targeting, and then what products that you're advertising. Then you determine the start and end dates. So what I would do is choose today as a start date, but not set an end date. Then you can choose your budget. So I'd say a £10 budget is usually sufficient, but you might consider boosting that by 2 to 4 times for key sales days and prepare for increased traffic to your ads. And then you choose your targeting strategy. So if I were you, I would start with automatic targeting, where Amazon will choose the keywords and products for you and then later set up a manual campaign. Then you choose your bidding strategy. So I'll talk through that when I do the live demo. I think it'll be a little easier to visualize. Then pick your product. So you can help, for example, create demand for bestsellers or for new products during the holiday season. Then you set your bids. So you can choose a single default bid or set bids by targeting group, which we talked a bit about earlier. And then you just go ahead and launch your campaign. So with that, I don't want to just talk, I want to show you exactly how to do this in a live demo. So let me just make sure that my screen is set up. Just one moment. And I can see how we've got a few questions coming in, which is great. So I'm going to address those in about 10 minutes or so. Cool. So I'm just setting up my screen. Just one second. Cool. So here I am in my advertising console, and I'm in the campaign section, and I'm going to hit create sponsored products campaign. So first of all, I'm going to give my campaign a name. So as I mentioned, what I'd really recommend is that you use the standard naming convention, because when you're looking through your reports a bit later, it's going to show you which campaign exactly you're looking at. So this is a sponsored products campaign. This is going to be using automatic targeting, and this is going to be selling chocolate bars. Then you can set your start date as today, and I'd recommend not setting an end date. And the reason is this allows your campaign to run year round and keep generating impressions, but also the learnings of the campaign won't be archived and lost. So if you set an end date to your campaign, the campaign will be archived at that end date, and you won't be able to restart it again. Whereas if you don't set an end date, you can go in and pause your campaign at any time, but then you can just restart it from where it left off. So I'd recommend not setting an end date. Then you choose your daily budget, which, as I said, I'd recommend at least £10 to start off with. And of course, you can increase that over time if you find that it's running out too quickly. Then start with automatic targeting. And this is where you choose your bidding strategy. So what you can do is you can choose fixed bids, which will mean that your ad will bid the same amount every single time it's up for auction. Or you can choose dynamic bids up and down, where Amazon will increase your bids in auctions where you're likely to convert to a sale, and decrease your bids in auctions where you're unlikely to convert to a sale. So it's a nice way to optimize for sales. But what I'd recommend if you're just starting out is that you do dynamic bids down only, because that means that Amazon can reduce your bids in auctions where you're unlikely to convert to a sale, but will never increase them. So it allows you to optimize for sales, but still be a bit conservative with your spend at the beginning. Then you create an ad group, and an ad group is just a way of organizing products within your campaign. So for example, if you're selling different categories of products, so say you're selling chocolate bars and lollipops, you'd want to put your chocolate bars in one ad group and your lollipops in another ad group, because they're each going to have their own targeting methods. So I'd really recommend that you separate out your categories of products into different ad groups. Then you add the products that you want to advertise. So I'm just going to choose some random ones, but of course, advertise your own products preferably. But if you know the products that you want to advertise, you can enter them in a list here, or you can upload a list. Then with automatic targeting, you can either set a default bid, or you can set bids by targeting group. So this is what I talked about earlier: close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. So you can look back at the Christmas tree example. And this is where you can choose bids for each of these targeting groups. And what I'd recommend that you do is have all of them on, so target all the targeting groups, and choose the suggested bid. And the suggested bid is calculated from a group of recent winning bids to add similar to yours. So it's a good benchmark to start off with, to know that you're not bidding too high for impressions, but that you're bidding enough to be able to win them. Then you can do negative keyword targeting, which will stop your ad appearing against certain search terms. So let's say, for example, that you are selling an expensive high-end product. Let's say you're selling an expensive coffee machine. You may not want to appear against search terms like cheap coffee machine, because presumably customers searching for a cheap coffee machine, they might see your ad, they might click on it, but they might not actually want to buy your product. So you might want to negativize cheap coffee machine, and also add cheap in negative phrase match. So this will just stop your ad appearing when customers are searching for a cheap coffee machine or anything that's cheap within your product range. You can also do negative product targeting. So you can stop your ad appearing against certain ASINs or certain brands, which again is particularly useful if you've been running your campaigns for a while and you see that your campaign doesn't perform well when it appears against certain products. You can just make them negative so that the ad stops doing that. Then you just go ahead and launch your campaign. So that was automatic targeting. I'm going to quickly show you what manual targeting looks like, but I won't go into too much detail about it. So this is where you choose manual targeting, and you can choose the same bidding strategy. You can choose the same ad group and the same products, but this is where you choose keyword or product targeting. And with keyword targeting, you'll have a list of suggested keywords to pick from. So you can just pick whichever are relevant. And I'd recommend that you choose them in all three match types to begin with. And again, you can choose the suggested bid, or you can enter a list of keywords, or you can upload a file. Then you have the option to do negative keyword targeting. On the other hand, you can choose product targeting, where you can target particular categories of products, or you can target individual products. And you can think a bit about the targeting group. So maybe you want to target some complementary products that can be bought alongside your product, or maybe you want to target substitute products that can be bought. Your products can be bought instead of that product. So just have a think strategically about how you would target different products. And then you have the option to do negative product targeting, where you can exclude specific brands or you can exclude specific products. So for example, if I know that my Cadbury chocolate bars don't sell well when they appear against Lindt chocolate bars, I can, for example, negativize Lindt as a brand. So my ad won't appear against that brand. Then you just go ahead and launch the campaign. So that's step by step how you'd set up an automatic and how you set up a manual campaign. But we do go into more detail about this in different webinars. So I'm just going to navigate back to my presentation. We're going to wrap up with some key takeaways, and then I'll talk through some next steps, and then we'll go into a live Q&A. So my key takeaways for you are, first of all, get ready to advertise during the lead up period to the holiday season. Then define clear goals for your advertising. So figure out what your objectives are for each of your different campaigns. Determine what products that you want to advertise and check them for retail readiness. So think, are my products winning the featured offer? Are they in stock? Are they going to be suitable for this holiday season? Do I want to advertise these products, and are they ready to be advertised? Create your first sponsored product campaign using automatic targeting like I just showed you, and start collecting learnings from that campaign. You can also think about advertising your deals and special offers. So of course, sponsored ads can work in tandem with maybe some of the other marketing activities that you're doing. And one of those could be deals and special offers. So you could think about advertising products that have a deal on at the time. And use a targeting strategy that can help you reach relevant shoppers. So think about, starting with automatic targeting to learn what keywords and products work, and then applying those to your manual campaigns to ensure that you're reaching relevant shoppers. So in terms of next steps, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, you can watch the recording of the webinar when I send it to you to follow a step-by-step demo and best practices. You also have the option to get one-to-one support to set up your first campaigns. And as I mentioned, I will be sending the slides to you after the presentation, so you can follow the links there. And you can also make use of free campaign creation. So again, you can just sign up through any of the links here. And then once you've launched your first campaign, you should definitely join our webinar series. So you can attend our other holidays webinars. You can learn optimization tips through some of our intermediate webinars. You can learn how to build your brand through our sponsored brand, sponsored display, and stores webinars. And we also have a live Q&A every Friday where, advertising specialists like me, we can sit and answer your questions for an hour. So as I mentioned, I'll be sending you today the recording, the slides, and also the list of upcoming webinars. So with that, I'll go into a live Q&A and I'll answer as many questions as I can. I can see we've got quite a few, so I'm going to try and get through them. But if I don't get to all of your questions today, as I mentioned, we do have that office hour session that I definitely recommend that you come to. We do not have a trademark, but we do have a company logo. Would it still be possible to create an Amazon store? No, you need to own your own brand trademark in order to get registered with Amazon Brand Registry and therefore be able to set up a store. If I bid £2 for a keyword, but the max bid for that keyword is 50p, will I get charged £2? No. So of course, the higher you bid, the more likely you are to win an impression. And you should bid based on how much you're willing to pay for a click on your ad. But if you were bidding £2 and the next highest bid was 50p, then you would win the impression because you're bidding higher. But when a customer clicks on your ad, you would actually pay 51p. So you're paying 1p more than the second highest bidder. Can we choose a certain time of day for our ads to be running? No, you can't. You could manually pause your campaign every couple hours, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would just let it run throughout the whole day and make sure that you choose a high enough daily budget to make it last throughout the day. With an automatic campaign, will we get what keywords are doing good and vice versa? Yes. So what will happen is you can once you've run your automatic campaign for at least 2 weeks, you can download what's called the search term report, and that shows you all of the search terms that customers used that led to a click on your ad. So you can use these to add as keywords into your manual campaign. So let's say, for example, that you're advertising chocolate bars and a customer typed in Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate bar, or several customers did that, and it matched your automatic campaign and you generated loads of sales. So then you would see that search term, Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate bar, appear on your search term report, and you could add that as a keyword into your manual campaign because you know that works really well and you want to target it. So that's how you can use the learnings from an automatic campaign and apply them to a manual campaign. If my automatic campaign only generates ASINs and no search terms, should I increase my bid on close and loose match? Yes, that could be an option because that would help you match to more search terms as opposed to products. But also, I'd say there's no harm in matching to ASINs as well. That's of course going to happen. And what you can do is you can just use those ASINs to set up a product targeting manual campaign. So I appreciate that, of course, you do want to collect search terms to use as keywords, and you can definitely increase your bid on close match and loose match. But also, don't be worried if you are matching to ASINs. It's no bad thing. You can just use them in your product targeting campaigns. Why are my products not in the buy box? So what you're referring to is now called the featured offer. So some of you may know it as the buy box, which is the old term for it, but we now call it the featured offer. So as I mentioned before, some of the things that you can do to help display the featured offer are to make sure that your products are priced reasonably, that your products are in stock, and that you've got good customer ratings and reviews. So all of these can help you display the featured offer. Um, so what I would do is look back at the slide that I took you through on that and just make sure that your product matches that criteria. I'm a new advertiser and want to test it. Would it be suitable to run an automatic targeting campaign for 1 week? So I'd recommend when you start out that you run your campaigns for at least 2 weeks, because that's enough time to generate sufficient data to know if your campaign is performing well or not. Anything less than that is a little bit unreliable. So I would definitely run your campaign for at least 2 weeks. And just remember that the daily budget is totally within your control. So I definitely recommend setting a daily budget of at least £10. But of course, if you want to go lower than that, you can. If you want to make sure that you're not spending too much on your advertising. Does my product offer have to be the lowest price of all sellers to make the ad successful? If not, will my advertising just increase other sales? So that's why you have to be displaying featured offer in order to advertise, because uh, so sponsored products drive to the product detail page. So if I click on your sponsored product ad, it goes straight to your product detail page where I can learn more about the product. If you're not winning the featured offer, I won't be able to add your product to basket. So that's why you need to be winning the featured offer in order to be advertising at all. So that will stop your ads promoting, you know, the success of other products. Um, so it's not really something you need to worry about in terms of, when you advertise, you're promoting your own products, and you'll only be able to advertise if you're winning the featured offers. So it shouldn't really be a consideration. I have a manual campaign with relevant keywords to my product, but I get no impressions. The bid is 30 to 40% above the suggested bid. Can you please explain why? So, first of all, I'd make sure that you run your campaign for at least 2 weeks before checking the results. And then if your keywords aren't generating impressions and you're already bidding highly, then I'd suggest adding more keywords to your campaign. You just want to give your campaign enough variety to have a chance to win impressions. It sounds like you're doing the right thing by bidding highly, but just put in more options for the campaign to target would be my advice. Are there any keyword research tools to gauge search terms against volumes? So the suggested keywords are a good place to start. You won't have stats on, how often they're used, for example, but they are a good way to harvest keywords if you don't know where to start. So start with the suggested keywords. Should I use the suggested bids for the targeting on my automatic campaign, or should I go a bit higher? So I would start with a suggested bid, and then when you see keywords that are performing, or targeting methods that are performing really well, then increase the bids on those and decrease the bids on ones that aren't performing well. So I would start with the suggested bid and then increase or decrease depending on the performance. If I've launched a campaign, would it be possible to go back and change the end date? Yes, you can. So you can, let me just show you how to do this. So on your campaign dashboard, you can just go to the end date section. So you can see that I've selected no end date from all my campaigns, but you can choose an end date and apply it, or you can set no end date. So you can do that straight from your campaign dashboard, and it'll update instantaneously. Sorry, I've just lost the question box. Okay, I got it back now. Cool. Um, if I make more sales on my product page, on a product page in my automatic campaign and less on top of search, Should I increase the top of search bids a bit more? No, if your campaign is working really well on product pages and you're making a lot of sales through that, then I would focus on increasing bids for your product pages. Um, you know, I think sometimes it feels intuitive that you want your ads to appear on top of search, but that's not always where they perform best, depending on your campaign. So if your campaign is performing well in product pages, I would keep your bids high on those placements. How do I stop an ad? So you can actually see on the page that I'm on now in the actually sorry, just one second. It's not live, so I'm just gonna pull this up again. So in the column that says active, this is where you can pause or activate your campaigns. So now I just unpaused it, so it's delivering. But if I want to pause it, I just click that button, and the ad will stop serving. So I won't be charged anymore. It'll just pause until I'm ready to restart it. Cool. We just have time for a couple more questions, so I'm going to try do my best. Will multiple campaigns with overlapping targets compete against each other? No, so your campaigns won't compete against each other. But that being said, when you're running multiple campaigns on the same product, which is absolutely fine, you should definitely do that. Um, just make sure that they have different objectives. So you might have one campaign that is aiming to protect your brand. So maybe you're targeting your own brand's name as keywords. You might have another campaign that is targeting generic keywords that just describe your product. So I'd recommend that you choose different strategies for different campaigns and that they each have their own distinct objective. Should I even launch an ad if I'm not in the buy box? So remember, you cannot run a sponsored products campaign if you're not winning the featured offer or the buy box. You can, however, you can set up a store if you're registered with the Amazon brand registry and feature the products there. But you cannot run a sponsored products campaign without winning the featured offer or the buy box. I don't have a huge advertising budget. Would you recommend a lower daily budget for longer or higher daily budget for a shorter period of time? That really depends on your strategy. So, for example, if you maybe your sales are very concentrated in the holiday season. Maybe for example you sell Christmas trees and they only sell between November and December. Then of course it would make sense to have a high budget for this period and low budget or no advertising the rest of the year. But if your strategy is longer term and maybe you're more focused on brand awareness, for example, then it can make more sense to have a lower, more sustainable budget throughout the year. Um, I really think it depends on your products and your particular goals as to how you structure your spend in advertising. Is it okay to run multiple automatic campaigns? For example, one for top of search and one for product pages. Um, it is okay. However, you know, you can't specify that you want your ad to only appear on top of search or only appear on product pages. You can bid more highly for one of those placements to optimize for one of them, but you can't specify that. So I would stick to one automatic campaign so long as you've separated your products into different ad groups depending on their category. Um, but just to note that you can't specify where your ad appears, you can only bid more highly for those placements. Cool. So we're a bit over time, and I realize I didn't get to all of your questions. But as I said, I do have an office hour session on Friday, which you'll get details of after the webinar today. So thank you a lot for coming along, and I really hope that you found the session useful. Please do fill out the survey on your way out, and otherwise, I really hope to see you again in future sessions. Thanks a lot.